It happens every day at 5:25 p.m. Your dog wakes up, walks to the front door, and sits down to wait. 5 minutes later, you unlock the door. How do they know? Is it telepathy? Is it a psychic bond? Or is it simply a biological superpower that we humans are completely blind to? The answer lies not in their brain, but in their nose. Humans see the world in photos. Dogs smell the world in video. To a dog, time is not a rigid construct of minutes and seconds. Time is a physical quantity. Time is smell. Specifically, they are detecting the decay of scent. Think of your home as a giant biological hourglass. When you leave the house in the morning, your scent is strong. The air is saturated with your pheromones, skin cells, and soap. As the hours tick by, air currents move. Heat rises. The concentration of your scent begins to dissipate linearly. Your dog can smell this decay. They can feel the difference in density between the air at 10 a.m. and the air at 4 p.m. At 5:25 p.m., your scent reaches a specific low-level concentration. This specific smell of emptiness is the trigger. They aren't predicting the future. They are reading the clock of the past. They know that when the air tastes of this week, you usually return. This theory was popularized by cognitive scientist Alexandra Horowitz. It reframes the dog's nose as a time machine. To understand this, we must look at the hardware. A human has 6 million olfactory receptors. A bloodhound has 300 million. But it is not just receptor count. It's as the olfactory bulk. In dogs, this brain region is 40 times larger than in humans relative to brain size. They also have stereo olfaction. Their nostrils function independently. They can tell if a smell is coming from the left or the right. This allows them to smell the passage of time in space. A footprint is not just a mark. It is a timestamp. A fresh step smells strong. A step taken 5 seconds ago smells slightly weaker. By comparing the two, the dog knows which direction you walked. To a dog, the past is under their feet. The ground holds the history of everything that has walked by in the last 48 hours. The future is on the wind. When a dog lifts its nose to the air, they are smelling things that haven't arrived yet. They can smell a storm approaching before the clouds appear. They can smell a visitor walking up the street before they knock. The mechanics of the sniff are aerodynamic genius. When they exhale, air exits through side slits, creating a vortex. This vortex helps pull new scent-laden air into the center of the nostril. They are essentially creating a continuous vacuum of data. Inside the nose, a structure called the subethmoidal shelf separates breathing from smelling. Humans don't have this. This means they can hold a scent in their nose even while exhaling. They are processing time data uninterrupted. Let's go back to the homecoming experiment. Scientists tested this by recirculating the owner's scent using a fan. When the scent remained strong artificially, the dogs were confused. They didn't wait by the door because the scent clock hadn't ticked down. This connects deeply to separation anxiety. For some dogs, the panic attacks happen at specific intervals. The dog learns that 50% scent concentration means alone for too long. The fading smell of the owner becomes a countdown to terror. This is why leaving a worn t-shirt helps. You are literally refilling the time clock, tricking them into thinking you just left. It is not just scent. Dogs also have circadian rhythms controlled by light and hormones, melatonin, just like us. And the stomach clock. Ghrelin hunger hormone spikes at predictable times. If you feed them at 6 p.m., they know when it is 5:59 p.m. But scent is the most precise marker for 4 external events. Light changes with seasons. Scent changes with physics. This ability is why tracking dogs can tell which way a fugitive ran. They are measuring the age of the footprints. Scent molecules are volatile. Lighter molecules evaporate first. Heavier ones remain longer. A dog smells the top notes recent and the base notes past of a scene, like a perfume master. Temperature affects the time machine. Heat makes scent rise and dissipate faster. Cold keeps it close to the ground. Rain is a time eraser. It washes away the past from the air but enhances the present on the ground by hydrating the molecules. Have you noticed your dog smells your car before they hear it? Your car has a unique chemical signature. Brake dust, fuel, and your own scent on the steering wheel. In apartment buildings, air pressure changes in elevators can push your scent up the shaft before you arrive. The vomeronasal organ, Jacobson's organ, located above the roof of the mouth. It detects pheromones, which have no scent to us. They can smell your stress cortisol and your happiness dopamine. They are reading your biological diary. Can they smell longer durations? Like a week. When you pack a suitcase, the predictive scent changes. The anxiety of leaving has a smell. Dogs in hospitals can smell the passage of disease. They can detect changes in metabolism before machines can. Seizure alert dogs detect the chemical shift that happens some minutes before the electrical event in the brain. They are smelling the future. So, the dog's world is a 4D map. 3 dimensions of space plus a dimension of time. A blind dog doesn't lose its way because it can see the timeline of the room with its nose. When a dog stops to sniff a flower for 30 seconds, do not pull the leash. They are watching a movie. Pulling a dog away from a smell is like closing a book just as the detective solves the mystery. Sniffing lowers their pulse. It is mental work. 15 minutes of sniffing is equal to 1 hour of walking for energy expenditure. Why do they stick their heads out of car windows? Not just for the view, it is sensory overload. It's like watching an IMAX movie at 100 miles per hour. A rush of information about the world passing by. Every dog's nose print is unique, just like a fingerprint. Why are their noses wet? Mucus absorbs chemicals, but they also lick it to transfer pheromones to the Jacobson's organ. When you hug your dog, you are hugging a time traveler. They know where you've been, who you met, and how you feel. The door wait is their act of faith. They trust the physics of the scent. They know the decay will eventually reverse when you return. And when you do walk in, the fresh wave of you hits them. It is the best moment of their day. Their biological clock is tuned to us. We are their sun and their moon. Routine establishes the framework. Scent fills in the details. Even as dogs age and go blind or deaf, their time machine remains accurate until the end. Recent studies show dogs can distinguish identical twins by scent. Their resolution is molecular. In the wild, this time sense helped wolves coordinate hunts. Knowing footing when a herd passed is as important as where to wear. In the city, it helps them avoid danger. Smelling the time of a rival dog's territory mark prevents conflict. They know when you are cooking dinner before you even start, because they smell the pre-cooking rituals. Chopping board, gas stoves. Your shoes are scent sponges. They carry the timeline of your entire day. Why do they sleep on your clothes? To immerse themselves in your time cloud. It makes them feel you are present. Cleaning products erase their timeline. Bleach is like blinding a human with white light. Open windows disrupt the clock. A breeze can dilute the scent faster, making the dog think you've been gone longer. In a stagnant room, the clock is more accurate. Time release treats. A frozen Kong thaws slowly, releasing scent over time. A primitive clock for dogs. Short snouts, pugs versus long snouts, shepherds. Long snouts have more surface area for time perception, but the brain processing power matters more than the nose size. Even a pug knows when dinner is. Hand gestures combined with scent. The ultimate communication. The leash transmits your sweat, nervousness directly to the dog. It is a telegraph wire of emotion. They smell the time of other dogs on you. You cheated on me. Cats hide their time trail, burying waste. Dogs broadcast it. The P-mail tree. It is a community bulletin board with timestamps. They overmark to reset the clock. I am here now. Scent memory is lifelong. They remember the smell of their mother 10 years later. The smell of a new toy versus an old toy. The old smell is comfort. The new smell is dopamine. While they sleep, their brain organizes these scent memories into a timeline. The morning breath inspection. They smell your health status first thing in the morning. The smell of coffee triggers the owner is active routine. It is a scent cue, not a time cue. Keys jingling is sound, but the smell of the metal keys means outside. A dog's world is a swirling vortex of invisible information. We live in a blank void compared to them. We say, stop sniffing. They hear, stop reading. Decompression walks. Letting them sniff for 20 minutes resets their cortisol levels. The dampness of the nose captures moisture, which contains the scent. A dry nose is a blind nose. Drinking helps smelling. A thirsty dog cannot track well. Working dogs always work into the wind to look into the future. Scent work games at home can help slow the aging of the brain. Use the nose to fight dementia. Dogs don't need a wristwatch. They have a biological nose watch. As the sun sets, the air cools and the scent falls. The evening scent is distinct from morning scent. Nighttime smelling. Humidity rises, making smells stronger. The night is loud for a nose. They guard you at night because they can smell danger that you cannot see. The bond between human and dog is bridged by their effort to understand our world. Despite the sensory gap, they learn our schedule not by reading the clock, but by reading what you signed, our scent, our habits, our decay. So tomorrow, when they wait for you at the door, remember they have been counting the scent seconds until you return. It is not magic. It is magnificent biology. Thanks for watching. See you next time.